Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a lovely summer. I would like to call to order the Gladstone Community Center Advisory Board meeting on this Tuesday, September 17th, 2024 at 3:30 p.m. And I will now read into the record that the city of Gladstone is abiding by guidelines outlined in House Bill 2560, which requires the governing body of the public body, to the extent reasonably possible, to make all meetings accessible remotely through technological means and provide opportunities for members of the general public to remotely submit oral and we're missing some words there, written testimony during meetings to extent in-person oral and written testimony is allowed. Therefore, this meeting will be open to the public both in person and virtually using the Zoom platform. Okay, Haley, would you please do the roll call?
Evelyn Johannesson,
Present.
Sylvia Kellner,
Present.
Simona Gergashon,
Present.
Mindy Prosky,
Present.
Roxanne McMullen,
Present.
Josie Whitaker,
Present.
Sharon Howard.
Present.
Thank you, everyone. Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I certainly do not. All right. So today, our first order of business is going to come from the community center staff. Second, we are going to have some business from the audience with the foundation update. And then lastly, we will do business from the board. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our June 18th, 2024 meeting, please?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Thank you, Josie.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Roxanne. Haley, will you please call the vote?
Evelyn Johannesson,
Yes.
Sylvia Kellner,
Yes.
Simona Gergashon,
Yes.
Mindy Prosky,
Yes.
Roxanne McMullen,
Yes.
Josie Whitaker,
Yes.
Sharon Howard.
Yes.
Meeting minutes approved. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We are now on to business from the community center staff. Take it away, Michelle.
Hi guys, welcome back. Good to see everyone. First thing we were going to go over was we included the monthly report for August. And I don't know if you guys had a chance to go through, but highlights were music on the greens. All around, the music series was really successful this year. We held it at Max Patterson Park, had a variety of bands, and August was no different. We had two great artists that came out, and it was warm, but it was nice. It was a good attendance. I feel like that night we had anywhere from 85 to 100 people, top count, and we did not have Rotary that night because of the community festival. So people brought picnics and just hung out. Some of the other things in there, we're still continuing with our revolving art wall. That's actually been a really big success. We had over the summer, 2 different people who'd never been in our community center before come and bring in their art to be displayed. One of them being a 20-year-old new artist. And this was the first time that she had displayed any of her art. And she was actually the first person who someone wanted to buy her whole collection. She did water paintings. She didn't even know. She had nothing priced or anything. She had done seasons. And so it's just, something different, I guess, to bring in different community members. And yeah. Other than that, in August, we also did the clothing swap. I'm just kind of going through right now the monthly report. So Music on the Greens, the community festival, we had a booth. We thank you for everyone who helped man the booth. We had giveaways and quite a few people stopped by and all positive reactions from the community. We had our calendars there and our new banner for our new logo. And I feel like it was a good opportunity to kind of, again, reiterate that we were a community center and give the community all the activities, events that we are doing at the community center. Then we had the clothing swap on 8/23. This was their second clothing swap. We are doing these in the middle of the week. And so I'm not sure if that has to do with the attendance on the clothing swap. We did have roughly 40 to 50 people at least drop clothing off. I'm not sure how many people actually took clothing away because we had a lot of clothes left over. So we are looking into if we want to continue doing that. And if we do, if maybe this is a weekend event or something like that, or if maybe there's a different venue, maybe that's more appropriate in Gladstone to do that. So, because it is, I feel like a really good community event if we could figure out a time where people could come. So, I just wanted to update you guys on the ODHS Resilient Hub and Networks grant. Unfortunately, we did not get that. That's the one we were talking to you guys about, the master site plan, if we did get it. And also the ADA doors. But unfortunately, it was highly competitive when we did not receive it. So that's that update. Moving down to just what's going on right now. At the beginning of this month, we had our volunteer luau. Thank you for everyone who came. It was wonderful. That's the best words to describe it. I thought it just really, over 100 people came, volunteers in the community from different groups, community center volunteers and other volunteers in the community. And we had a band and we had someone come in and teach everyone how to hula.
Yes, hula dance.
Yeah.
I think I almost had a quorum of elected officials hula dancing. Yes,
It was wonderful. I
it
was
was
there.
wonderful.
Thank you so much for serving and making this event so lovely.
It's just one little way that we feel like we can give back to so many people that give so much to this
Yeah.
community. It's one of my favorite events of the year, to tell you guys the truth, because it's, no secret how much I love volunteers and people who volunteer. And it's just that one thing that I feel like, we're really just want to let everyone know how much we appreciate them. DEI stuff. Right now we have Hispanic Heritage Month going on from the 15th through the 15th. So at the community center right now, we have reading materials. We also have, before the 15th, had been posting about different activities that are going around in Milwaukee, Oregon City, Clackamas County in general, different festivals and different ways that people could get out in the community and to go to some of these events. And it's a nice gathering point for people to come and really get resources, I feel like. So we have that going on right now, which is going to lead into our next one, which is Indigenous Peoples Day, which is going to be a big event that we're going to have next month. And hopefully, did you guys all get flyers on that? If not, I can send them to you if you could share them widely. We're going to have some guest speakers, some poetry slamming, and Indigenous art makers, art show, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that it's important that you help spread the word for that event. We have a keynote speaker coming who is free at charge for that. There's going to be events, I believe, from 11 to 4 all day. So we'll send you out a flyer of information. It'd be really nice to have people come to the community center to help celebrate that.
And I will note the keynote speaker, I didn't realize this when I asked him to come, but he's actually, he's a really famous author in this area that does anthropology, and he's a doctor. And he is going to share some of his new findings on Johnson Creek indigenous population that was specific to Johnson Creek. And he's been working on this research for quite a while, and he's just now publishing it. And so we're going to be able to be the first ones to hear about this. It should be really interesting. Lunch and learns. We do lunch and learns all month long. Some notable ones. We had Clackamas County Energy Assistants come in and just kind of get everyone prepped for winter, how to save on their bills. Everyone knows utilities are skyrocketing. For a lot of these seniors on fixed incomes, there was a lot of takeaway for these guys for that lunch and learn. We also are having a tea party on Monday, and anybody is welcome to come. We have a volunteer who she is English, and she is going to do a tea demonstration. She's going to make mini crumpets. Do they call them crumpets?
Yum.
Little sandwiches, scones, and she's going to serve everyone tea. We ask that if you have a big hat to wear it, and just come and enjoy the fun. It's a free event to the community, and we've done it once before and we had a good attendance, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's at noon on Monday if anyone wants to come. And then lastly, I just wanted to update you guys on the John Wetton partnership that we have, or the school district partnership in general. We got a jump on it this year with our Pen Pal program. We sent out last month and collected all the beginning of this month, everyone who wanted to partake in being a Pen Pal with a 5th grader. And we've got all those forms back. And so we are having a hard start date in the 1st of October to get these Pen Pal, the Pen Pal program started. So we get maximum amount of time to write back and forth. That was our biggest complaint last year, was the kids and the adults didn't feel like they got to write enough, because that's how much they enjoy it. And so we've got that going already. And then I met with the principal of John Wetton and the volunteer coordinator, and we are going to resume the 4th and 5th graders coming on Tuesdays to the center. They're going to bring their lunches instead of eat our lunch. And for this year's project, to go with Mr. John Wetton's endowment that he had put aside, the kids are going to, in class, think of interview questions to ask the adults at lunch. And so they're going to come to lunch and have a couple questions prepared and ask whoever they're sitting with, whatever questions they come up with. And then at the end of the year, we're going to compile all of that together and laminate it and make a book. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see how that turns out. I don't know if any of you remember, but not last year, but the year before, we did a recipe book. So each class brought in their favorite recipe, and then the adults at lunch brought in their favorite recipe when they were their age. And they would share their recipes with each other. And they just get such a kick out of hearing the adults talk about when they were their age and the differences that there were. Like, there was a lot of similarities with their favorite foods, but there was a lot of differences
Lime
too.
jello.
Yeah. Or minced
Pie.
pie. I don't know what that
Meat
is.
Pie.
It actually
See?
has meat in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Venison.
Yep. Yep.
It's disgusting.
Doesn't sound good.
Yeah, no, it was interesting. There was some interesting ones in there. So it was also interesting to see culturally, kids that would bring stuff in and adults, depending on where they were from, what they ate in their households and what their favorite recipes were. It's at the center if anyone ever wants to come and take a look at it. The school put it together, laminated it for us, and then we did pictures in there. It's interesting. So that's all I have, Jackie.
No, I just want to say that the staff at the community center has been doing a fantastic job. As you know, it's so busy down there, and Michelle and Deanna, they deserve all the credit for the work that's being done there.
Yay.
I agree.
Thanks, guys. It's not work when you love what you do. And I think I can speak for both of my coworkers too. It's enjoyable. We love what we do.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for the update. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I would just like to say that it's very fun to be a volunteer at the community center, because that's what I do also.
Excellent. All right.
You guys, I'm so sorry to do this to you, but I completely skipped over
Oh,
our logo,
Yeah.
which is going in on the 25th, 24th, on the 24th. So we included this in your packet. This is what the big van, the big guy, not the adventure bus, but the big bus is going to look like after the 24th. So make sure you stop by and take a look at it.
Looks great.
all right. Thank you. Yeah, for letting us know that. That's going to look really, really great. Can't wait to see that driving around town. All right. We will go ahead and move to some foundation updates. Bonnie?
Thank you. Hello, all again.
Hello.
I just wanted to give you an update on what's going on with us in the foundation. Go back to the festival. We were pleased to be able to share the table at the booth with the advisory board and the community center, and we appreciate all the people who staffed the booth and gave out information and swag and kind of talked us all up, which I thought was great. The next thing is music on the greens. Michelle may be going to mention it next time, but I'm going to mention it now because last Friday was the last one and it was wonderful. The weather was perfect and the music was perfect. Both bands were just great. And we were able to be a part of the Rotary that night. And we did hamburgers and hot dogs and we had the beer garden and popcorn for the kids with the movie afterwards, which was sponsored by Rotary. So I think it's a really great combined evening. And I'm looking forward to being able to do it again next year. We have such a short season that we can all be out there. So that was great. Coming up on October 11th, we're sponsoring the 50th anniversary dinner. That's a Friday evening. And so if you or any of your friends who live here in Gladstone have been married 50 years or more, give the center a call and get your name on the list, and then we'll be glad to treat you to a nice evening of music and meal and a complimentary photo. Any questions about that? Okay. And then the other thing that's coming up soon is our Friendsgiving lunch. Thanksgiving's been renamed for our purposes as Friendsgiving, and the foundation board is sponsoring that as well. So everyone's welcome to come to the lunch. It's always a wonderful lunch and a lot of food. These guys really know how to put it together, do a lot of cooking with help this year, I understand. And so it should be a nice meal the Thursday before Thanksgiving. So it'll be November 21st. Help me out here, okay? 21st, and Thanksgiving is the following Thursday. So that's what we've got going on now. Of course, there'll be stuff near Christmas, but I can fill you in on that later. Does anybody have any questions for the foundation? No? Okay. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Off to your next meeting. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're gonna move on to business from the board. So let's see. We're going to I want to share with you in your packet the city council goals update for 2024. Within your packet, everything is numbered. So I'd like to point you to numbers 9, 10, and 11. If you look at those sections of your packet, everything that is in a red font is going to describe what our 2024 goal updates were. So, obviously expanding multi-generational classes, applying for grant funds, and et cetera. So you can look through numbers 9, 10, and 11 to really see some fantastic details about the city council goals update for 2024. What we're going to do now is we're going to start thinking about our goals for 2025. So, what I would like to ask each board member to do is, once you read through the packets, read through the updates, I would like to ask you to please come to our October meeting, October 15th, with some ideas for goals for the next calendar year, 2025.
And I'll just share a little bit of the timeline of why we're asking you to do that in October, possibly November. We have an election coming up in November. We potentially could have new elected officials on city council for 2025. We will have a goal setting session in January of 2025, and they would like to have input from all their boards, committees, and commissions prior to that goal setting. So October and November is a good time. December, you get kind of busy into the holidays. So if you guys can be thinking about some high level goals that you would like to see the center work on. And quite honestly, some of them might carry over into 2025. We made some great progress on a couple of those goals, and that doesn't mean that they can fall off, that they could carry over into 2025. But one of the areas I can tell you internally that we will be looking as probably a separation from the school district on the community school program, which I've had conversations with them so that the center can start thinking about programming needs to multi-generations at the center. What's that going to look like? Do we need to think about staffing in evenings and weekends so that we can maybe offer more classes? So those are the kinds of things that we would like this advisory board to be thinking about for October. We'll see how far you get, and if you need to continue discussing it in November, then we can certainly have those conversations.
May I ask a question? With the, Michelle, would you contribute to this? Would that be something that you would like to share that you might have, that we can all kind of bring it in?
I think that, yes, you providing input to the advisory board is what you're asking. Absolutely. I think that that's
Some
necessary.
suggestions that you are passionate about that we can, bring it in and consider it.
Like Jackie was just saying, one of the big ones staff-wise that we're really excited about is programming. And we're going to need a ton of input on from the community and how we gather that information to make sure that we include everyone in the community what kind of programs do you want to see at your community center? And I think we need to be really thoughtful about that, about how we're collecting that information and making sure that we get a really wide range of who we're collecting that information from. So that's kind of on the top of my head right now, moving forward with just the different kind of programs that we're going to be able to have. And it's really exciting.
Mhm.
So
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any comments or questions?
Roxanne, I have a question. Are we going to a uniform? I know this is kind of minor and kind of backtracks a little bit, but are we being uniform in our addressing and identifying the center as the community center or the senior center or both? Because I called City Hall last week and the recording said dial 4 for the senior center, said nothing about the community center being that location. The other thing I got was the community school sign-up sheets that lists the location as the senior center. So what is our approach to uniformity? Are we just skipping that and going to the combined view of what the
No.
facility is?
We are changing the identity, and with that, we notice things along the way. We have communicated to the school to change those names, but if that's not happening, then we need to reiterate that. As far as the recording on the internal city hall system, we can have our IT manager look at that and make sure it gets changed. But I know that we here aren't using senior center. We're really trying to call it the community center.
I think most of us in the community are kind of pushing for that as well.
Yes.
That helps us give the community a bigger view of what Michelle and everybody is trying to get from them about what the community center can provide to them in return.
Correct. Thank you for bringing those to our attention.
Absolutely. I think that if any of us see that, I know that the flyers for the Rotary Community Bingo Night had senior center on them for a while, and I kind of kept bugging them about it. And that's okay. It's okay for us to point that out to whoever needs to hear that we have had a name change that we're really proud of, and you know, and it's sneaky too, you know, you find it in little little places that you just if you go hunting for it, you're never going to find it. It's almost like you just have to find these little ones by accident. And then yes, thank you for bringing it to the attention so that it can get fixed.
I think it will take a little time, finding all of them,
Yeah.
so.
I think so too. Yeah.
It's kind of like when you get married and you
Yeah.
change your last name and
Very
Yeah.
much so.
I have found that even when I share with someone, like in mobile home park where I live, or just other people that I know around here, like even at the store, oh, I volunteer at the community center. Well, it wasn't. What community center? In Gladstone, they say, isn't that the senior center? I said, well, it formerly was. And then I have to give them a little education, and now they're providing,
Mhm,
some other activities for other age groups, children. And
mhm.
so as we get more other, add other programs, I think it will become even more set,
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that, everybody on this board is a huge advocate of the center and the changes and the positivity of those changes. And so I think I'm always really happy to talk to somebody about all the work that has, gone into this positive change. So, okay, anything else from the board? All right. Then I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Roxanne, I move we adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Roxanne.
Josie, I second it.
Thank you, Josie. Haley, would you please call the vote?
Evelyn Johannesson,
Yes.
Sylvia Kellner,
Yes.
Simona Gergashon,
Yes.
Mindy Prosky,
Yes.
Roxanne McMullen,
Yes.
Josie Whitaker,
Yes.
Sharon Howard.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed to adjourn the meeting at 3:59. The next meeting is on October 15th at 3:30. Thank you, everyone.